I'm wondering, who did you study piano with, and for how many years with each of them?
Well, I first started learning piano when I was almost 4 years old, so very young. Then I went to the public National Conservatory in my hometown, and I studied for 7 years. When I graduated, the first one was Anna Maria Pennella from Naples, and then the second one was Aldo Ciccolini. I studied with him for almost 2 years, and I studied with Anna Maria Pennella for 5 years. And he prepared me mostly for all the big competitions that I did.
I see. And what did you learn from each of them that you think was very, very important to you?
Well, with my first teacher, I think what was important is that he didn't focus too much on let me play only in one way. He let me very free to experiment and also to do repertoire. My teacher in the conservatory, he was focused on a certain type of technique, increasing the agility of the fingers and so on. And when I studied with Anna Maria Pennella, she was absolutely wonderful as a pedagogue, and she taught me so many things to make me a complete musician. And with Ciccolini, I would say the most important thing I learned is to be curious. I was already, but with him I became even more curious about repertoire, new repertoire, and also exploring and finding my own sound.
Who is your favorite composer and who is your favorite pianist?
I don't actually have a favorite composer because there is impossible to just name one. I would say Bach is certainly one of my favorites. Brahms is one of my favorites. Rachmaninoff is one of my favorites. But how can you not name Mozart, Chopin, Liszt? It's impossible. I would say favorite pianists. Among the living pianists, and hopefully living for a long time, Christian Zimmermann is probably my favorite. But I also admire or love many others. But if we go back to the pianists who are no longer alive, then I would say Sviatoslav Richter was one. And even though he's very different than anything I play, like he sounds completely different than what I would sound like, but he fascinates me very much. And another one who I admire greatly is Alfred Cortot.
I see. And you've just been to Korea. Why do you think many Korean pianists winning the big competitions like Chopin and Van Cliburn recently?
I think it's the system that produces good results. Then within the good system, you have some exceptional students that will come to the top.
What are the systems like?
Well, I'm not familiar with the system in the sense that I don't teach there and don't work there, don't live there. But I think that in their teaching, they are focused on building foundation patiently and well. And they build through the traditional system, which is don't skip any steps. So many of our Western teachers, I think they want the students to play pieces that are too difficult for them too early. Or they don't have the patience to teach them step by step.
There are so many piano competitions nowadays. How should people prepare for those competitions?
You prepare to the best of your ability to express all of your potential. So if it's a piano competition, you have to prepare the best you can so that you can play at your best. And I wouldn't think about competing, just compete with yourself. Can you play at the very best of your capabilities? If you do that, you already won your competition. Then the judges may decide to give the prize to somebody else, but you have to be objective and you have to know whether you played at the best of your possibilities or not.
And you are a judge in many major competitions. When you are judging, what are you looking for?
I'm looking for the complete package. So somebody who can have technical proficiency, but who makes the technical ability serve the purpose of playing great music. And also I look for people who are very convincing in what choices they make and who know about the style they're playing, who know about the score they're playing in every possible detail, even when they decide to take some freedom from the letter of the text, but who are able to convince me that particular way of doing works well for the piece. And also I'm looking for people who are very able communicators, so to really engage me as a listener, to make me want to listen more.
Okay, one last question. When you are performing on the stage, what are you thinking?
I believe that our focus splits. It's not only on one thing. There is a part of our brain that takes care of guiding us to play the right notes, to down the right path, to do the right gestures. But then there is another part that wants to surveil that the music is being expressed in the correct way. And so it's like a split between the two. And you constantly have to be rational and logical, but also creative and artistic.
Okay. At the very end, are there anything you want to say to the audience who watched this video and to your fans?
I thank all the people who show interest in what I do, and I hope they continue to. And I am always very happy to be in China. I have many friends and connections, and it's always a joy to perform or teach here.